everybody, Norm from Tested here at Monster Palooza 2017. I got to stop by the Ironhead Studios booth. Jose Fernandez, how you doing, sir?
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you again. Last year you had like the best booth at this show, seeing some of those amazing helmets you did for some of the Marvel films, the DC films, and you're back this year.
Yeah, we came back. It was a good show. We got some good press, thank you.
No problem.
So yeah, I just wanted to come back. I kind of got a little larger space, a little more comfortable this year.
And you have some full figures here.
Yeah.
Some of the films and specialty costumes that you guys have made. I want to talk about these full costumes.
Sure.
Can we talk about Batman for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Because you made this for Ben Affleck to wear for Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Talk about the process of making a full body
I mean,
suit.
it was a pretty involved thing. We started with, the designer calling me, said he wanted to go this old school style, this visceral style. I was very into it. So we start with a body scan and kind of work from there. The whole process is about 8 months. This one in particular is an amazing process to just work out, which we talked about last time, the ability for him to turn his head, which was first and foremost for me. Yeah. But then the rest of it too, to build that as anatomy, make it look as natural but just powerful as possible. And make it, like there's a lot of stuff in here you don't see. Like the cowl was ultimately digitally done, sculpted first and then digitally finished. So kind of using a hybrid process, which I really like, and all the stuff to make it work and turn. That was kind of my big focus.
I mean, as a studio, you can do the full end-to-end, from design, sculpt, fabrication.
Yeah.
A lot of the work now is collaborative with artists that the studios bring in or concept artists. So, you want to put your own touch on it, but then you also got to work with what they bring you.
Yeah. Well, my focus usually is, I say this, sometimes I have to fight myself, but I always want to give them the best version of what they want.
Right.
Sometimes they know what they want, sometimes they don't. So that's ultimately my goal, is to satisfy the client, and also ultimately I want to be satisfied as well. But usually even an average design could be great, a great design could be phenomenal. But I always try to find what that answer and solution is, and usually people that come to me want part of what I bring, so that's also fortunate.
Yeah, because you have that history.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for Batman, you've worked on a lot of those shows.
I usually try to give gravity, timelessness to a character. My first thing I remember doing was behind this Catwoman. This cowl I sculpted in my mid-late 20s, and I still love it. So the idea is I always want to bring that timeless, iconic imagery, no matter what it is. So I'm thinking 10 years, I think it's still going to be good.
Right.
In 20 years, I think it's still pretty solid. So that's kind of my thought, is not to be trendy, or what's going on now I'm not really concerned with, like what is going to be strong now and in 10, 20 years from now.
You're adding to the history of the character, right? When people look back and see
I really want to make that impact.
Batman.
Yeah, I want to inspire kids, and also satisfy adults, the whole thing.
Now, something that we've noticed a lot in the costumes of superheroes and all sorts of characters is the texture of their bodysuits. And we even see that in this character you made. This is a character you made for what, Goosebumps?
Goosebumps.
The film?
Yeah.
What was the brief? What was the challenge for this? And how did you guys execute?
Oh, this one was great. A friend of mine, Carlos Wante, did some of the concept work. It was really fun. It was a retro alien. Loved it. So the idea was they found these guys that are about 6.5 feet tall, weighed about 140 pounds. They're just like coat hangers. So we're able to distort their anatomy. So we got this really interesting alien-like anatomy and skinny limbs, and just make them look freaky. It's kind of fun. And the textures are great. It's one company in the Valley does every Marvel film, every film I work on. She does all the printing. She has this proprietary process. It's silk screening, but another level.
But like textured silk screening.
Another level. She just keeps pushing it. And that has really brought a lot of great textures and sheens to these projects.
Which under the camera lens and lighting lets us...
Before you had to use wovens which don't stretch, so you're limited. Like I think Fantastic Four, I found a woven that worked, but it's such a rare thing to find something that stretches and has texture. So it's always flat. So adding this texture now, you're unlimited to what you can do.
And then in turning this into a display, you're able to mechanize it. And really, you don't need a performer in there, but you can have a really good animated character.
I mean, as a child, Disney, obviously his impact is huge. So to me, it was a little slice of that, to bring a little humor, a little movement to the display, liven up the display. That's all it is.
That blink right there is cut it. That's so cool. Can you talk about how that works?
Yeah, it's old technology. It's it's pistons, servos, And that's what I wanted. I want it to be just kind of old school. There's some charm to it. You know, kids love it. I think adults love it. I still like it. I've been looking at it all day.
Yeah.
I think it's really it just makes me smile.
It's a little bit that, you know, you could do it in post-process, but in person here, to see that blink, it gives you a double take.
Yeah, I like it.
Now, you talked about the actors you originally put this costume with, really tall performers, character performers. For Batman, you had to work with Ben Affleck. There's like a muscle suit in there. Different body types allow for different types of performances, but in a lot of what you do, you can give a typical actor a different physique just with a lot of the
we can
padding.
help augment them tremendously.
Did Conan need a bunch of augmentation? I mean, this is the Conan O'Brien suit he wore to Comic-Con.
Yeah, he was awesome. They reached out to me. The time frame was so finite. Like I mentioned, Ben was about 8 months.
Yeah.
They had about 2.5 weeks. So I thought, no, I can't do anything. I can make a helmet for you.
Right.
But as I got into it, I really wanted to push it and do something, so we did it. So 2.5 weeks, we just threw everything at it, and it was so fun. And he's such a rail. He's 6'4", and again, about 170. I don't know what he is, but he's really lean.
Yeah.
So we're able to just build him up, and he wanted those cues. He wanted nipples. He wanted a obscene crotch.
Yeah.
All that was really fun to work.
Delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was such a ham, such a great guy. He's a really nice guy. And this is on loan from him. He owns it, and we had the show. We asked his people, and they were gracious enough to let us borrow it for the show.
Wow. You work on so many projects, from superhero suits to space suits. I know you guys did the space suits for Passengers.
Yes.
That was super cool.
Yeah, that was a fun project.
What keeps you energized? What are the things that you love to do as you see where films are going and the types of characters you see?
It sounds cheesy, but I really love a challenge. I like something that's new, haven't done before. And if I have done it, I like to then see where else I can push it. You know, what's the next thing? Like we'll see if it comes down to the next Batman film. You know, if and when it comes back, If they reach out, I'd love to reimagine that. I'd love to see what else we could bring to it. You know, more movement, just more visceral. Anything I can bring. I love something new.
Very, very cool. I would love to come by your shop sometime. Maybe
Absolutely.
sit down with some of your artists. I know you have a big team. It's a really cool place.
Yeah.
But thank you for bringing this stuff to Monster Palooza, and it's great to see you again.
Good to see you again, too. Thanks.